Get 1 shade, put it on the panda, but I usually like 2 to check expos, 1 to check expos, 1 on panda at all times so he can't creep to level 3. And pretty much, yeah, if you get those 2, you always know where he's at. You can creep jack him anytime, you can kill expos anytime. You pretty much just have all vision of the map.
And I think that's actually a really excellent point to make, is that just be aware that the panda's level is unbelievably crucial. When the panda hits level 3, he really becomes just a force to be reckoned with, and that's pretty much the point at which you will no longer want to engage in any sort of straight-up fight with the Night Elf until you end your gayetry. And we'll continue discussing how to be gay. It's this will be like a handbook on how to gay elves. Since if we've learned anything from Downware, that elves are pretty gay, but we got to show them what it's like on the other side of the fence. So that's exactly what this commentary is all about. Just picking off little wisps and archers and making the Night Elf really want to smash his keyboard in half. Starting the Tier 3 tech, Ices explained to me before this game, I asked him about that, what his rule on going Tier 3 is. So why don't you go ahead and give the audience a description of that.
Pretty much, my rule is if you see him teching Tier 3 really fast and you're trying a Mass Garg harass strat, you tech Tier 3 as soon as you see him tech Tier 3. It might be a little late because you're making Gargs, that's okay. You just need that Tier 3 for 1 Frostworm, so he cannot bear push you. And if he bear pushes you and you don't have a Frostworm, your base is pretty screwed because he'll most likely have an orb on his DH. And surprisingly, an orb on a DH can kill about 10 Gargs by himself. It's pretty stupid.
Yeah, I think the Demon Hunter is a little underestimated. Like you see the Night Elf making like all these dryads, but I mean the dryads are not really his damage output by any means. I mean they're kind of just like placekeepers that sit there and look pretty while the Demon Hunter and the Panda just rape everything. They're like handcuffs in an S&M relationship, you could say. And I feel like a horrible person for saying that, but oh Jesus, rune bracers on the Panda, that's always annoying. It always makes your nuking harder, but Ices is going to be solo hero for quite a while here, so that's not a really big deal. Notice that the elf has total hero level 5, and the Ices here still is at 1. That's not really necessarily too uncommon. I mean, of course it's nice to be level 2, and Holy Aura is pretty hot, but, dare I say, broken. But, don't panic if you're too underleveled, because you don't have to, you don't really have to fight him. That's kind of the nice thing about Undead, is you really have the ability to choose when to fight. If you don't want to fight at this point in the game, which you don't, then just don't fight at this point in the game. If things get too hot, you just run back to your base and sit there while you go kill wisps and have your way with the Night Elf player, just like you like it. I guess you could say Undead is the choose your fetish race in Warcraft 3. And Ices, you're a noob, you've got an idle shade here in your base.
Pretty much Undead vs. Elf is just about multitasking, and sometimes it's hard to do everything.
Ouch, shut down. As Ices pointed out earlier, you have to worry about the bear push, definitely. His bears are already master training. One of them will be retrieving his panda shortly, I presume. Else Regime, you're a noob! No, there he goes. I guess at this point, notice the Boneyard going up. Sacrificial Pit, of course, is requisite for the Boneyard. So, you shouldn't have to worry about that, though, because you already should have shades. One thing to notice, though, is that he has Ices here, a Boneyard going up, but doesn't even have a Slaughterhouse yet. And I think a lot of it is you don't really have too much time to be sitting around a statue for your Gargs to heal up, because as he was just saying, multitasking is so key. You really need to be tracking down the Panda, trying to stop him from hitting level 3 as long as possible, although he is now level 3. But your Gargs are going to be very active throughout the game, and you know, pretty much your Gargs, the sky is the limit. You know, as good as your micro is how active you can have your Gargs picking off units and wisps and screwing with them, and so you don't really have too much need of a statue until you're going to be getting into fights and creeping. Statues are really going to be nice when you start creeping. And Ices, why don't you talk a little bit about the bear push going on here?
I'm gonna chime in and say, I didn't say this earlier, but get the Boots of Speed so the DH can't get it, and Boots actually helps you from not dying from Dryads. Even though you do have Aura at level 2, it's a really good thing to have a Boots of Speed so your DK doesn't die. If your DK dies, your chances of losing go down dramatically. And right here, my base is getting raped because I did not get the Frostworm out fast enough. The bears are just wreaking havoc on everything I have. And the Panda, Breath of Fire Haze, is kind of hurting me. So, right now I'm just pretty much trying to stall for my one Frostworm that's coming out. And he's going to get a lot of buildings during this time period. And that's just because I was late on that one Frostworm that could have stopped all of this.
Yeah, if you did notice it a little bit, or if you were observant about it, the Night Elf was about 2/3 into his tech when Isis started his, which would explain the lateness. I personally am questioning the base build here because, as you see, the Death Knight doesn't really have a good place to run off to because of that wall of zigs below the gold mine. It's pretty hard for him to sneak into the back of the base from where he was, but I don't know. My opinion. And of course, as soon as the frost.
Yeah, since I lost that DK, this Night Elf is. Yeah, this Night Elf has a huge advantage since my DK is down. I can no longer harass anymore. I'm pretty much just screwed. I can't level. So what do? What I do is I get a DR for silence. Silence is always good versus a Panda, and just pretty much so I can creep my hero up whenever my DK is reviving. If I don't have a hero leveling at this time, I'm pretty much screwed later during the game.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. If you've noticed, the Wisp harassing has kind of lost its charm at this point in the game. I mean, there's not really too much he can do with that, because most of the Wisps are scattered around the map at this point, and also he's got a freaking huge Frosty that's just going to be sitting around, and a Death Knight at level 4 is going to take a very long time to come back, so if he hadn't done that, gotten the Dark Ranger, then he would have just been sitting around doing absolutely nothing, and the Night Elf's advantage that he just got from that bear push, since the Frosty was late, would have just been exaggerated even more, and Ices would be pretty fucked. Do you have Stone Form at this point, or did you not get it because you lost your crypts?
I'm actually not for sure if I have it yet, but I'm thinking that I did not Stone Form during that haze earlier. I'm pretty sure I don't have it yet.
There's a Stone Form Garg right there, actually.
Oh, well, okay.
Well, shame on us. I guess we were too impatient. Now here's another thing. You got 2 crypts. Would you, even though the Panda is getting pretty beastie in level, and same thing with the Demon Hunter, do you think that you're going to continue making gargoyles should you lose about 4 or 5 of these?
Yeah, you pretty much always have to make Gargs to stop Dryads, and you always have to have heal scrolls. If you don't have a heal scroll, you're just done for against the Panda. I like to get 3, 2 on one hero, 1 on 1, or if I have 3 heroes, 1 on each, of course. But yeah, you always have to make Gargs to kill stuff.
Excellent. I would say that one of the characteristics of a bear push is that he'll tend to expand slightly later, since his early game and his slightly mid-game section is going to go into getting his tech, which takes a bit of lumber, and upgrading all his bears, you know, and that all takes quite a bit of resource, so and he's not going to have the army in the mid game.